Hello, beautiful people. I'm Ashley from Elemental Growth, and this is the 5 elemental levels to building positive habits. Being someone who was born into a family line riddled with bad habits, unserving addictions, and narcissistic abuse, I have personal experience on many levels building positive habits in a way that is fun, easy to replicate, and sustainable. In fact, I even published a guidebook on it if you want the additional resources. The most elemental step to building positive habits is being willing to take responsibility for the way you are choosing to spend your time, your life. 111% responsibility for actions. In the words of Bruce Lee, what you aren't changing, you are choosing. In my early 20s, I took it upon myself to change my family karma, to transmute the energy I was using to feed negative habits and use it to help me cultivate positive habits that serve to bring me health, wealth, and happiness in abundance. In this article and Instagram live series, I will coach you through following 5 elemental steps to building positive habits naturally. Level 1 is to decide. Every moment of every day, we make decisions. Sometimes those decisions are small and inconsequential, and sometimes those decisions are life-altering. In a case, the outcome of your day and your entire life are mostly defined by your decisions and the actions that you take along the way. The problem is that many people, including myself, is that we have a deer in the headlights moment when we're faced with decisions, paralyzed with fear of making the wrong decision. If, however, you can push past the fear and doubts associated with decision making, you can start taking control of your life's outcomes. When you make decisions quickly, you leave no room for doubt, worry, confusion. Instead of wasting time worrying and overthinking, making a quick decision enables you to immediately begin transmuting your energy into following through on that decision. Following the rule of 5 means doing 5 things every day that will bring you closer to your goal. Major goals are accomplished one step at a time, which is why the rule of 5 is so effective. So decide what you want and write it down along with 5 action steps you're going to take. Like Jack Canfield teaches, if you would go every day to a very large tree and take 5 swings at it with a very sharp axe, eventually, no matter how large the tree, it would have to come down. If you're starting a business, for example, you could email 5 new prospects a day, create a data tracker on Excel and update it daily. It might be making 1 cold call, copywriting, updating your website, or reading 1 chapter of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You may also want to try habit stacking, a simple hack that can help fast track your personal and professional development. This is where you take an activity that you do every day without conscious thought, like brushing your teeth, and then adding a positive habit to that. Studies show it takes around 30 to 90 days for a habit to become sovereign. So choosing an already solidified habit and then adding to it will naturally increase the likelihood of you succeeding. Habit stacking can, without a doubt, help fast track your personal development according to mindset experts and coaches such as myself. Level 2. Connect and track. Being disconnected is the source of almost all human problems, such as what is called mental illness, drug addiction, violence, crime, failing at school, and abuse, to mention a few. Dr. Glacier suggests that almost all human behavior is chosen to satisfy the 5 basic needs for survival: love, belonging, power, freedom, and fun. These 5 basic needs are written into our genetic structure, and from birth to death, they drive all of our behaviors. Because our genes do not provide us with behaviors to meet these needs, as infants we start learning how to behave in order to get our needs met. If you had an upbringing like mine, things may get confusing because maybe some needs were never met until those teenage years when having sex and getting wasted provided band-aid solution to this. It's our job, however, to continue learning and refining healthy ways to fill these needs for the rest of our lives. To better enable us to learn, we are provided with the ability to feel both pleasure and pain. Anything we do that feels good feels that way because it's satisfying one or more of our basic needs, and anything that we do that feels bad incompletely satisfies our needs. To connect and track in your own life, you could list out in 3 columns the 5 basic needs for survival. So it's survival, love, belonging, power, freedom, fun. Plus, you can also list some of your own things that you feel you need in your life. In the second column, list the negative habits you want to eliminate, and in the third column, the positive habits that you want to cultivate. Now that you have a clear visual of what you need and want, of what you want and what is currently not working, you can create a data sheet to track your progress. I'll be diving more into this in the live feed on Tuesday and really guide you through this and answer any questions that you have along the way. I'll show you what mine looks like, how I set it up and structure it so that you guys can build from there. Level 3 is to reward yourself. It's important to reward yourself as soon as you hit a milestone. Why? Because by rewarding yourself in the moment, your brain produces positive emotions, leading to the realization that your efforts result in a positive reward. By doing this continuously, your brain will start to link pleasure to the positive habit you're developing. Even a small reward is a great motivator. Rewarding yourself for wins, big and small, will make the world of a difference. Rewards help to boost your energy levels too. This is backed by science. Every time you receive a reward, your body releases dopamine, which creates a sense of pleasure. Your body secretes the same chemical when you're falling in love, having sex, gambling, smoking, and so on. Dopamine is highly addictive. We crave for it more and more. By building a reward system for yourself, you're turning your dopamine addiction into your superpower. The key thing is making sure that you work for the reward so that when you get the reward, you believe you deserve it. You must additionally make sure the reward makes you happy. For example, if you get a book as a reward but do not enjoy reading, this will not help you. The goal is to get your reward, but also a dopamine hit so that you will naturally want to do more for another reward. If you buy yourself things or do what you like doing whenever you like it, you're losing the opportunity to condition yourself to do better. Rewarding is an age-old mechanism of getting things done. You might think reward sounds expensive. The truth is, rewarding yourself can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. Don't neglect treating yourself just because you think you can't afford it. There are plenty of ways to reward yourself that won't bust your budget. And because you know I've been there, here are a few solid ideas and eco-thrifty ways that you can reward yourself. You can do my favorite, which is just getting up and dancing it out. You can take a bath with healing crystals and essential oils. You can rent a movie on YouTube. You can forage for free foods and medicine. You can subscribe for a meal box. You know, the first week is always discounted and you can cancel at any time. It just makes meal planning really easy, and sometimes you get some of those gourmet type things you wouldn't normally think of. You can order in a London fog from a fancy coffee shop that you've had your eye on. You can take a hike. You can Google free near me. You can buy that save for later item on your Amazon shopping list. You can plan a backyard bonfire and invite some friends. DIY something you liked on Pinterest, or order that book from your local library. Level 4, stay accountable. In my guidebook, I share the elemental growth protocol for holding yourself accountable to building and breaking habits by using nature to nurture the process of change. If, however, you have access to a coach, accountability partner, or a confidant that is also in personal development, then you're ahead of where I was when I started my journey. It took me years before I could even communicate what I wanted, let alone finding friends to help me stay accountable. Since I tapped into the world of accountability partners, I have learned a lot, became more focused, and even connected with some of the most miraculous people and resources I could have imagined. Two minds truly are better than one. If you have a family history of narcissism or codependency, you may subconsciously choose someone that will do more harm than good. That is okay. It'll play as a lesson, one that I hope you handle with grace and learn fast. When I started, I had to ask for help from a professional. Coaches have a great set of resources. Sorry. It's a lot of reading for me. Okay. Coaches have great resources and are in contact with experts in many fields. So they're really good at referring you to. Maybe you're lucky and one of your close friends is clearly a good fit for you. Choosing an accountability partner is all about clear and common objectives. Ideally, you will choose someone who is non-judgmental and whom you feel comfortable to share with authentically. If you hide things from your accountability partner, it defeats the purpose of having one. If your accountability partner is too validating, you might not be pushed hard enough for the change piece to work. If your accountability partner is too demanding, it can backfire and you might not feel understood or even give up altogether. I love the idea of choosing someone who is successful in the area you're working on. Working with someone with your best interests at heart, who will also motivate you, is important too. A peer could be a good fit if they're as dedicated and motivated as you are. You want someone who is non-judgmental, who understands relapse, is part of the process, and allows these times to be a learning experience instead of embarrassments. Oh. Reminds me, bring more water when I do these long ones. Okay. See, failure. You want to make sure that you have been thorough, open, and honest, had an honest discussion at the start, covering time of day, frequency of your appointments, and method for checking in. Make a plan together and make sure that you both sign off on it. Accountability partners are here to help you achieve your goals and keep you on track when life gets tough. That's why finding an accountability partner can be a challenge. Once you have found a partner, remember that this is a partnership. You are there to help each other be successful, and you need to make a pact as far as the milestones are concerned. The pact acronym means possible, action-based, clear, and time-bound. I have personally had many accountability partners in my career so far. As I said, I didn't start out with accountability partners. I started out holding myself accountable using nature's cycles, which I wrote about in my book, and then I paid to have accountability, and now I'm at a point where I'm naturally surrounding myself with people with common goals and able to find accountability partners that are free and after the same kind of things as I am. So it's a process, and you need to start where you're at. I'm telling you this because different habits may also require different partners. Here are some things to consider when choosing your accountability partner. Is a prospect dependable? Can you depend on them to follow through and respect you? Can you provide direct feedback? Will they provide you direct feedback? Will you have to deal with unnecessary excuses or defensiveness? Does this individual have a bigger vision about his or her life? Do they possess aspirations that you resonate with? Is this individual ready to act? Do they have a sense of commitment? And are they prepared to go beyond the status quo? Okay, level 5. Embrace failure. I struggle with codependency issues until recent years when I learned to honor failure as part of the process. This mindset shift allowed me to break free from the fears associated, like fear of having someone hold my failures over me, or worse, me holding myself accountable for my own failures, which often comes with its own its own pain points. I really didn't edit this. I'm gonna go back to that, make sure it's all ready for you guys for this week. So once I was able to own my failures and handle the painful memories and the vulnerability and everything attached, I was then able to persevere beyond failure and into excitement, consistent action, and ultimately success. So gaining control over your habits is easier said than done. Some go their whole lives without considering the fact that they can construct their own positive habits, while others never succeed in breaking their soul-sucking habits passed down by their elders. So this is a full spectrum here. We're merely products of our own behavior. It's in our human nature to seek routines in our daily lives because they're predictable, and predictable means safe. It's our job to experiment, find the right formula for us. It's a very individual thing, which is why there ends up being drama and inconsistent research. Consistency, however, is a piece of the puzzle we all have. We just have to find it. Consistency is something you have direct control over, and one of the key elements to success is putting in the work time over time over time. Staying consistent leads to more gains over time and limits the chance of you losing what you have built so you can reach your full potential. Our total time on this planet averages 30,000 days, an alarmingly small number, which is why it's elemental that you value each day and make every second count. Go after what you want. Take calculated risks. Be aware that every risk could come with failure, but without great risk, there is no reward. The hardest part of failure can be admitting to yourself that you have failed. Acceptance makes it easier to move forward. It brings completion to the life cycle so that you can be free to discover what would be next. This is why you have to refuse to play a victim and become a strategist. When you try something and it doesn't work, it can be easy to adopt a woe is me attitude, but it's actually an opportunity to correct your strategy. Examine where you went wrong and get systems in place to prevent those errors from occurring again. Get your routines in place and make them sexy. Stay focused on what it'll be like when your vision becomes reality. And remember, life is school. That's a quote by my own mentor, Dr. Dan Engel. By embracing failure, you're accepting yourself and your situation as part of life. It's an opportunity for elemental growth. Failure and success often go hand in hand. Success usually comes as a result of past failures. Embracing failure can lead to success down the road. If you're someone who feels that they have learned all the lessons, then let me also remind you that failure teaches us humility. We feel humble after losing and recognize that we are indeed human. We have a better appreciation of success having failed a few times on the way up the ladder. So I did put a little image in here of, the levels that it takes to really build these habits. So you can download that picture just so you have an easy to access view of what that reaching that mountaintop looks like. And you're gonna be repeating this over and over and over. So here's a few ways you can use this and level up even more. It's great to see so many people taking their health and lifestyle back in their own hands. The global lockdown and health crisis has opened the door for transformation. We are moving out of the information age now and into the transformation age. A lot of this, us being in lockdown and things, that's a forced retreat. But we all needed that time to integrate the information and turn it into a chance and an opportunity for this transformation. This is a time for you to make a difference, and it's going to take every single one of us to change the way things are today. The world needs you to get your shit together. And if you're ready, I'm here to guide you. Personal development is a lot like climbing a mountain. It's simple, but it's not easy. You just need a roadmap, a determined mountain climber, that's you, and a Sherpa, that's me, your mentor. If you're willing to do the work, then I'm going to teach you the proven process and principles you must take to implement in your life to get and achieve your health and happiness goals and beyond fast. In fact, I personally used these exact strategies to quit my shitty habits 7 years ago, get published, and launch my high-impact coaching business. I promise, if you take the lessons and put in the work, you can and will create a life filled with love, success, and freedom faster than you actually believed possible. If you are ready to take this first step, message me directly, ashley@elementalgrowth.org, or if you're on Instagram, it's at Elemental Growth, and I'll get you those next steps. This will be the least complicated thing about 2020, and you're gonna love it.